Hello everyone and welcome, it's Shanna. Now today we are using this Dancing Saint Nick cutting die from Spellbinders, and there are 9 dies to this set. And we're going to make a cute Christmas card with a dancing Santa who has some swinging legs. I'm just bringing in this panel here that I had scored, and I was going to use it for something and decided not to, and I threw it in my little scrap pile, and I'm just going to use it. I'm going to cut it apart and use it for the red. And I'm going to die cut out the Santa belly, the Santa legs, the Santa hat, the arms, and it'll do some little gloves. And we'll get all of that die cut out, and we'll just lay those dies aside. And I'm going to use my 2-in-1 tool to pick it up off of this cutting plate because you can see it is well loved. This thing is a mess. I need to clean it or perhaps even start using my newer ones. So next I'm going to bring the Santa's Naughty and Nice list and the beard, nose, hat, and waist white element. And I'm going to die cut it out. I'm just going to bring in this panel, and I'll cut this panel down so it will fit on my... Actually, I found another panel. I started to use a full panel, and then I found a scrap in my bin, and I'm going to use it. I'm trying to use those scraps. I'm telling you, I'm trying to get rid of them, and I'm trying not to waste. I don't like to waste, and so I'm using every little scrap that I can. So these little small pieces, I first thought they were the eyebrows to the Santa, and I suppose you could use them for that. But I think they're cuffs for maybe the sleeves or the boots. I will use them for the sleeves and the boots, but I think you could almost use them as eyebrows. Now, the example on the package doesn't show eyebrows, and it doesn't show cuffs on boots. But I'm going to put cuffs on my boots and my sleeves. The sleeves will be pointless because we're going to hold some things, and we're not going to see the sleeves. But anyway, so now I'm bringing in some just pattern paper. It's actually pattern cardstock. It is the Merry Grinchmas 6x6 double-sided premium cardstock, and I'm going to create a gift that has a striped pattern on it. And then I'm going to bring in some black, and this is the brushed black cardstock from Spellbinders, and I'm going to use it for the belt, the shoes, and it'll even die cut out the little medallion on the belt, but I'm going to die cut it out in some gold, and I won't use the black piece, but it's right there in the center of everything you're die cutting out, so you're going to get it anyway. And then I use some cream colored cardstock for Santa's face and nose, and we'll get all these pieces laid aside, and then we'll move on to the gold portion. And I have to search high and low for a piece of gold, and this is the only piece I could find. I mean, it is just a real narrow strip. And what I'm trying to do here is to get that S emblem from the belt area on here. And I am also trying to get the top of the package. I thought it'd be pretty to have a box with a bow that is gold for my card. And I was trying to bring in some gold elements because I wanted to do the belt, and then I wanted to do the top of my package, and I thought that that would kind of tie the things together. So I didn't do a very good job with the top of the package the first time, so I'm going to lay this down again, and I'm going to put some tape on there and run it through my die cutting machine again, and then we'll have a better bow and lid to our package that we can use. And I think at this point I have everything die cut out and ready to go. So now I'm just going to begin some assembly of it, and I'm going to assemble that the little poof or the little puff or whatever on his Santa's hat and get it laid down, and then we'll get the top part of Santa's hat. And actually, it looks like I'm moving right on to the beard on Santa's face. I'm trying to put it on there upside down. I'll figure it out. I'll spin it around and then I'll get it on there right. This is what I'm realizing. Oh, you had it upside down. There's actually some little etched details that show you where it goes. And so we'll get it laid down on here correctly. And there we have it. I'm just trying to get it lined up real nice. Now I'm going to find the little fur is what I'm looking for, the fur to the hat. And there's a smaller one and a larger one. This one goes with the points downward on the hat. And you just line it right up there. And then we can lay this right on top of Santa's head. Just kind of on the edge of the beard. And there we go. And so I'm just going to use those tweezers to kind of pinch it so that it will dry, the glue will dry together. And I'm going to take this scrap black that I had die cut out my belt and just cut off a little piece, and I'm going to glue it behind the head so that it will act as the eyes for Santa. And I'll move my tweezers and to where it will hold that down. And then we're going to move on to, looks like the body of Santa. And we'll bring in that larger fur piece, and the points will go up on this one. So it's kind of the opposite of the hat. Get that laid down on there. And then I've got the belt here, and the belt will just be adjacent to the white fur on there. And you'll just line that up. And then this is where I'm going to bring in that gold piece that I die cut out. And it has a little S for Santa on it. Super cute detail. And I'm just going to grab my tweezers and put a little glue behind there, and then I'll lay it down in the belt buckle area for Santa. And so I've got that other black belt buckle S that I'm not going to use. I actually put it in my die storage packet so that if I decide to make one later, I've got extra parts in there. So here's where I'm taking those little things that at first I thought they might be eyebrows, and I'm going to make them be the cuffs for the arms of the Santa. And it won't matter because the Santa's Saint Nick or Santa, whatever, is going to be holding the naughty and nice list and a present in his hand. So you really won't see his arms where the felt would be, or the the fur trim would be on there. But I'm going to go ahead and lay them down. And then I'm going to bring in, I'm kind of eyeballing the red gloves, but I'm not going to lay them down now because you need to lay those down when you put your package and your naughty and nice list in the hands. So I'll just position these and get them attached to the body. And I'm just eyeballing it right now. Then we'll put some glue on there and we'll get them attached. And there we have it. So again, I'm getting ready to take off on another vacation. And so I'm just trying to kind of tie up any loose ends that I have, any videos that I need to get made. And I had a couple of holes in my schedule where I didn't fill them in yet. So I'm just adding some content and just working on some fun things. This was part of that haul that I got from the clearance sale from Spellbinders. And I think it's super cute, and it's going to make a fun card. And I couldn't wait to play with it. So I've got my pattern paper here, and I'm just adding my gold lid to my box with my ribbon or my bow on there. And this is going to go in Santa's hand. We're going to put it on his arm. I'll just throw some glue down there, kind of where I put that fur trim on. And then I'm going to bring in one of those red gloves, and I'm going to lay it down on top of the box so that it looks like Santa has got his hand wrapped around holding that box. And I think it's super cute. And then I'm going to take the naughty and nice list, and it comes in two pieces. There's a piece that has a score in it, and you just fold it down, and it kind of makes it look like Santa's list is kind of bent a little bit, like it's a long list and it's kind of curled a little bit. And then we'll attach it to the longer part of the Santa list. And I kind of toyed with maybe making some little scribble marks like it looked like, you know, his notes on there. But I thought the notes are more on the inside of the list. And this is the back of it. So I didn't do it. I just went ahead and just laid it down there. And then I bring in his little glove and position it to where his little hand is holding the naughty and nice list. And I'm just showing you what we've got here so far. And then this is where I've got the little legs that I'm going to lay the little black, brushed black essential cardstock on the red legs, and we'll have his little boots. And I'm just going to get him positioned on there nicely. And then I think this is where I decided to go ahead and die cut out some more so that I could add some fur to his boots. And so I'm just going to take some white. I'm going to do the whole piece again. And this is where I'll get some extra pieces that I can just put in my die storage sleeve. And we'll have, you know, some more pieces of the beard and that stuff. So I'm just going to take these and I'm going to lay them down on my boots and just make like little fur cuffs. And I think it looks cute. I'm glad I added it. And I'll actually show you the packaging. There were not any cuffs on the packaging, but I thought I'd just do that because I thought it was fun and it brought in some more white. And I've got the little nose to Santa, and I want to make it pink because, you know, Santa was jelly and he had rosy cheeks, and I'm sure his nose was rosy. So I'm going to bring in my alcohol marker in a pink and just give him some little cheeks and color up the nose, and we'll get it set down on here. And I think it looks really cute. And we've got our little Saint Nick assembled, and now we're ready to just build our card and where we're going to lay him. So I've got a side folding, and I'm just going to give it a press. And then I'm bringing in that Merry Grinchmas pattern paper from Cat Scrappiness. It's actually cardstock. It's heavier than paper. And I'm trying to decide which way I'm cutting it, and I can't make up my mind. Then I realize that I need to go in this direction so that I can get my ornaments laying in the right direction on this side folding card. So I did manage with all the flipping around to get it cut in the right direction. And I noticed my card base had just a smidge on there, and I trimmed it off, and we're going to get this pattern paper laid down on here, and it's going to be the background layer. And I really like this pattern paper. I think it's really pretty. And we're going to build from that. It's got a lot of red and green on it. So we're going to bring in a green, and I'm going to bring in these emerald cut labels. I love these. And we're going to use 3 dies from this. I first start out with 2, but then I quickly realized I want to do a 3rd one. So I'm going to do the smaller, or the middle-sized etched die that has the etching on it. And we'll do our green panel. And I really like how this looks. I think it adds a nice little texture to our card. And then I'm going to bring in the middle just center die and cut that out. And this will layer very nicely on that green. And we'll have that etching show. And then I decided I want another one. So I went ahead and got the next layer up of the just plain die, not the etched die. And I die cut out some more of that scrap. And it's got some scoring in there, but I didn't care. I'm going to use it. I don't want to waste. And I don't think you're going to notice it because of the way I'm going to layer it up. And even if you do, it just looks like extra embossing or whatever. And so I'm going to use this white panel. And this is going to be the area where we're going to have our Santa. I wanted him to be able to pop, and I thought if I laid him on the green or the red, he wouldn't pop as much as he would on the white. So we'll get these. I laid the red panel down, glued it down, and I'm going to pop up the green just so we'll have a little shadow between the green and the red, and it will add some extra dimension. I'm going to pull off my release paper, and I'm going to get this laid down on the red emerald. And then we will bring in our little swinging or dancing Saint Nick. And we'll get him laid down on the card. This is super cute. I love these little dies. I love die pieces. I love assembling dies and connecting them, and I just think it's fun. And when you've got a swinging one or a dancing one, it's even more fun. So I'm going to bring in, I've got some of these circle foam pieces here, and they've got some really good dimension on them. So it's going to make it, Santa's legs are going to swing just fine. And I'm just eyeballing it, making sure I got it where I want it. I'm going to use a whole bunch of them because I want all of them to be the same dimension or depth as what my legs are so that it won't impede his ability to dance. And I'm going to stay away from that bottom area of the coat. And then I'll pull off the release papers off of all of them. And then I'll pull off the release paper off of the one that's holding the legs in place. And then that will enable us to swing. So I should mention tonight we have a new auditorium concert. What's it called? I can't remember what they're actually calling it, but there's a brand new concert hall here in town. And tonight we had tickets to the first concert, which was a free one, because we'd bought tickets to some of the shows, and they'd given my husband, when he was buying them, these free tickets for tonight, and we went to it, and it was so much fun. It's a really nice venue, and Performing Arts Center is what it's called. And they had a wonderful band, and we really enjoyed it. It was fun. It was kind of a surprise. My husband said, hey, I've got these tickets, let's go to this. And so we did, and we had a really nice time. So it was fun. We didn't get home until, I don't know, it was well after 9. We hadn't eaten, so we were starving. And so we just kind of pulled some leftovers out and ate them. And then I thought, I need to get this voiceover done. So now I'm adding some of these gold embellishments from Spellbinders that I got along with the clearance haul. And I'm just going to lay several of these down just to kind of bring in some more of that gold, because we've got the gold bow and box lid, and then we've got the gold belt medallion that has the Santa, and I think it finishes off nice. So I hope you like it. Thanks for watching. Have a great day. Take care. Bye-bye.